I am the Knight. I am Batman!
You evil bat. Yes, yes, yes.
Hello, citizens of Gotham, and welcome back to another episode of Batman the Animated Series podcast, a show where we take you, we go back to the 90s, go back to the 90s and review, watch and review every single episode of Batman the Animated Series in the way it was intended. I'm joined with Gibbs and Levi, as always.
Do you think this episode is what they intended for the show? Do you think this is what they intended?
Is this what they intended?
Is this Gotham? Is this Batman?
Today, we're watching, we watched episode 6, The Underdwellers. And the boys have some thoughts. I'm gonna let the newbies, because Ben, you haven't seen this episode, right?
No.
So I'm gonna let them take it.
I don't know.
But first, I'll let me do some quick little info about this app. So it came out October 21st, 1992. And so this was, you guys point out it looked a little different, the animation. It was animated differently by a different studio, Studio Junio, whatever the hell it's called, something like that.
I gotta look up if they did freaking Magic School Bus, because it felt like Magic School Bus.
Yeah, I don't know, actually. That's a good question. This episode was directed by Frank Parr. He's done a lot of great episodes, but also did this.
This episode was well directed.
Yeah. So,
Looked nice.
But the story, you guys are gonna laugh, is by Tom Ruegger. He did the episode we watched before, Pretty Poison, and also did this.
He did Pretty Poison and then wrote this.
And
what
also
happened?
this.
What happened? Get hit in the head.
And then two other ones that are actually pretty good too.
Did someone shoot him in the back of the head before he wrote this?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you know, man.
If you can't tell, I don't think that any of us really liked this episode. I would actually go as far to say I think this episode is bad.
Yeah, this like last time we had like one of these episodes was Last Laugh, which was like goofy Batman. I went, okay, maybe it's kind of funny, and it's like it's a different kind of Batman that maybe it's not really the right mood for. This is just, it's just bad. Like this isn't even Batman. We spent like 6 minutes with Alfred and this kid, like doing like this
and the kid,
Home Alone
the
bit.
The leprechaun.
There's like Batman believes he saw a leprechaun for a scene. Insane.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, the quick little blurb about this episode, just so people know, it's about it's about a series of crimes perpetrated by these quote unquote leprechauns start plaguing Gotham City.
However,
as time goes on, Batman discovers
leprechauns plague Gotham City.
Yes,
is that how they solved this?
That's the plot for like 3 minutes. Oh my god.
There's
another line. Time goes on, Batman discovers that the real perpetrators of the crimes are children kept in the sewers, ruled by a sewer king who forces them to remain full silent.
I'm sorry. The fact though that in like the log line, they were like, leprechauns have plagued Gotham City. Shut up. What are you talking about?
Leprechauns. Oh,
yeah. So that's kind of the thought because
God, I'm sorry. I just have to rant for a second.
With green little hooded children.
All the things to like play on, like Gotham is supposed to be like Chicago and New York. Crime exists. That's the whole point of Batman. Batman is fighting crime. Why would people not believe that there's like?
Because everything's theatrical in Gotham.
No, but leprechauns, like, there's a horde of leprechauns.
They gotta make it flashy.
It doesn't make any sense.
But they just see a kid with like a green hood on, and everyone is like a leprechaun.
Yeah, no one can believe that there's just pickpockets. Like, leprechauns, man.
No, they gotta put a label on everything, dude.
Batman believes it. How does the world's greatest detective is like
the fact that Batman is like, oh yeah,
Alfred, I saw.
Yeah. There's a point where he's like, leprechauns, Alfred. I kind of remembered this episode, not too much. I didn't remember my opinion on it. But it's definitely a rough ep.
Alfred is full on like C-3PO this episode. He's got like a whole. He's just it's just cutaway bits.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think
like you said, there's the whole cutaway with
episode.
Just him and this kid in Wayne Manor, and he's like just kind of causing mayhem, and Alfred's kind of just trying to control him. So
I hadn't seen
that really goes nowhere. But
I haven't seen every episode of this show. But when we started this podcast, I sort of thought it was going to be like, oh, it's all good, you know. But
I don't know, man.
This was not a very good episode.
I hate to just harp on all the negatives, but I just have to laugh at it because I know that this show has such highs. Like the best Batman stuff we talk about every time there's good stuff. It's literally it defines the character, it defines the medium. So I just like an opportunity to just laugh at something I think that is unequivocally bad. But the episode opens with like these kids on a train, like playing chicken on top of a subway train, and Batman is like,
if you play too much chicken,
you get fried.
You get fried.
What? Why? And then it cuts to like some woman getting robbed, and she's like, a leprechaun. Like, what is happening?
Yeah.
What is happening?
That's dude. She started the headlines.
Yeah, the kids in the beginning
meant nothing.
Like I can apply like every little bit of like film knowledge I have to try to like make that bridge, and I can't.
It doesn't make any sense. And like, why is Batman like going after these kids? Like,
yeah, there got to be something more important going on in Gotham right now.
He's one man, and he's showing up to get these kids. I thought the same thing. I thought, oh, these kids are gonna be like connected to the Sewer King somehow. Like one of them like lost a brother, and like his whole investigate. Nope, not related at all. Just different kids.
Yeah, I mean, for the sake of the podcast, I feel like we have to do our favorite. Was it favorite moment? Favorite moment.
Yeah,
we have to.
This episode. It was just that bad, people. It's that bad that it derails the whole like point of the show because it's not even Batman isn't even in it for like 10 minutes. We have like whole Sewer King cutaway segments.
To be fair, there are some very good episodes of this show that Batman is not in very much.
That's fair.
True.
However,
like the next episode, POV, not a whole lot of Batman in that episode.
But then again, there's probably iconic Batman characters that are well written in those episodes. This is the Sewer King with like a Thanksgiving turkey yelling about his crocodiles. I'm like, like what is happening? Like,
yeah, what did you guys think of the Sewer King as a villain?
It doesn't mean anything.
Oh God, he's horrible, and he luckily doesn't show up ever again. So
no, he doesn't.
He's just like this fake out death with like crocodiles, and then he's like, I actually loved it. He like walks away.
Well, he's a Sewer King after all. You think he's gonna die in the sewer?
For like a gruesome guy.
Come on, man.
And then Batman's like, I want to kill you right now. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, I would like to murder you.
Then you got your great little gun safety line.
Oh God!
It was like,
yes, where he literally looks at the camera.
Never mix. Look at the camera. It wasn't loaded, but next time it might be.
Because
it could be.
Yeah, because Batman has an armory.
Batman has a gun room for some reason.
Yeah, just the classic Batman gun room.
He can collect them without actually using them, you know. But
yes. I mean, favorite moment, guys. Favorite.
You can also do least favorite. Whatever you want.
Maybe for this one we should do least favorite.
It must be such an outlier. Like this must be such an outlier.
This is an outlier.
It absolutely is. But I think
well, I was telling you because the next I was looking at the list. Like the next 10 that I was looking at, all good.
The thing is, we are watching not by the release date, schedule. We're watching by the production.
This is episode 27 in the release order.
Yes. So this, is only the 6th episode they ever made. So I think, and there's already been sort of 2, I feel like mid eps, or this was bad. And then, the last laugh was somewhere. It was mid. Yeah. But I think that it gets, it understands what it is more as a show the further it goes on. I still think they were trying something.
No, I love watching this way because you definitely see a progression. And like I said, next time we have POV, fantastic at Ben. I think Ben, that's one of your favorites.
I like it.
We gotta talk about this app.
We gotta talk about this.
I know, but what more is there to say? Come on.
Well, I think in terms of favorite shots, I think there was a really interesting shot of like the kids silhouetted in light. Yeah. Walking through the tunnels. I don't know. There was interesting stuff, but then the fact that we spent so much time with these kids that didn't mean anything. They were silent, and we spent literally
they're very quiet. Yeah,
4 or 5 minutes of the episode with just the Sewer King yelling at these kids.
I think my favorite shot, not because, I would say the last shot, and not because I was glad that it was over, but I think it's a good shot of Batman.
Cool. The cape was cool.
Overlooking the city with the cape flowing, and then but that has no relevance on the episode. It's like, I like the shot of him driving into the bat cave.
That's like the Batman go-to. Like, I don't know how to end this episode. Okay, just do like an over.
Yeah. The Batmobile has
the Batmobile
garbage disguise. Insane.
Yeah. The
like a
Like,
garbage, like a huge garbage, like one of the big industrial sized bins, like folds in
recycling
and
bins,
out
yeah.
around the Batmobile.
But the Dark Knight did have something not with a Batmobile, but like you know how remember the whole like cargo crate like entrance into that cave in the Dark Knight.
Yeah,
It's
little-
not.
little-
It's
a
and
little
it's different. That's different. I know,
yeah. I
but
think
it's
that's
a little similar.
well, no, the
little
crate didn't like
similar.
suck up inside the tumbler.
No, but
Like this
I
like it
don't
like got
know.
sucked in, like the garbage like got
I'm
sucked into the middle of it.
I'm trying to defend it.
Oh
Even though
Ben,
I don't know why I'm trying to defend
the shot when the kid gets hypnotized for some reason. It's like,
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
To like, so he doesn't know where the Batcave is. Yeah, there's like the.
and
Yeah.
he goes,
Love that.
Oh, okay. Well,
Um,
you know what? I'm gonna go on a little bit of a tangent, or I'm gonna read a
Okay,
long
go on a-
quote.
go on a
I'm
tangent.
gonna read a long quote here, which I actually think is
I
gonna
want this to be like a
address
sizable episode.
the director.
Okay, yeah,
Frank
do it,
Parr
let's do
has
it.
said, quote, "It was my first episode as director, and there are still things in it that I cringe at. Usually, when we get an episode, we get to use a lot of discretion and change things. I wish I had been able to spend more time on that script. Another problem at the time is that we had storyboard people who made things difficult. I found myself going back 2 or 3 times to fix scenes. They didn't quite understand that we were shooting for a higher standard, so there was a constant drain on my time. That whole opening sequence of the kids playing chicken with a train should have been cut. That was what we had to contend with at the beginning of the season. We had these little public service announcements worked into the scripts, a concept we nixed real quick." End quote. So
Yeah,
I think that
I think they're
explains
even
it a
they're
little bit.
well. At least they're self-aware, you know.
So,
Because I will say
well,
he directs some great episodes. So that's why.
okay,
That's
well,
why.
that's
you know.
so we understand there why we got that stupid little chicken scene is because it was studio oversight saying is like, oh, like you gotta teach kids not to play with trains, and like obviously that ended, and even just
Yeah.
I think what really speaks at high level there is just the quote about them saying that they were shooting for a higher standard, and I imagine the storyboard people were just like, oh, this is another kid show. So
Yeah.
obviously this is, as we've said many times already in this podcast, this is a show that sort of jumped above and beyond what the animated children's show was at the time, which is why we
Agreed,
3
yeah.
adults love it so much. So
well, can I share the screen just briefly for a good example of where I think
Sure. Yeah. Go ahead.
what everything that Ben's saying, where they tried, like look, like this is a great like this is one of my no, I think this is interesting that they
It's
put,
cool.
like the bat symbol is in her eyes or whatever, and I'm like, okay, that's like a
Yeah.
neat idea,
No,
right?
it is.
And then in the next scene, like they couldn't even animate her eyes, and like her eyes are just like closed the whole time, and it doesn't like it's like what happened? What is happening? What is happening here?
Yeah, that is
So-
pretty
Oh.
silly, actually.
I mean, another point to that, Bruce Timm talking about working with this studio for the first time. He said this episode almost completely dissuaded the team from continuing their relationship with Studio Junio. Quote, it was the first one that came back that looked totally unlike our show.
Yeah.
Yeah,
End
it's
quote.
crazy.
Spoiler alert: they did do more episodes with them.
Well, then
but-
he said, I'm glad we used them again. They've done great work.
Yeah.
Bruce Timm.
So this just seemed like a mishap at
Also,
you know.
apparently
on
the
all
episode's
sides.
impact was watered down due to the studio taking out a lot of the episode. The kid was supposed to be victimized by the sewer king, but he was not allowed to be mean or torturous to any of them.
Yeah.
And that's sort of it for production notes, honestly. It's just sort
Yeah,
of being
that's-
it's like it's all like, oh,
I
this
was
is
gonna
life,
get there, but
man.
yeah, that's all that.
Well, I feel like it needed to be said a little early on because as much as we're dogging
Um,
on the episode, at least
yeah.
there's a reason for it, all right?
No, I think they understood that too, which is a good thing. Yeah, I mean, in productions stuff happens, so I mean, this is just I think a
They're working out the
casualty
kinks.
of
Working out the kinks.
yeah, they're working it out. This is early into production. This is their 6th episode that they made, and certainly was not happy with it. So,
A horribly inconsistent
Yes.
tone to this episode, though. I just like they throw
well,
like
it just cut. It just cuts from like
There's like a
a
Shining
crazy thing-
reference in there at one
Yeah.
point. Like
yeah,
what-
the whole like the shy the
yeah, they're like
lights will make the
a
make
few
you
hours in the
shine.
lights will make Jack a
And the- and the-
bright
yeah,
boy. It's
the,
like,
the
what-
light room.
Like,
There's,
what are you
this big,
talking
like-
about right now?
Yeah.
What do you like? What are we doing here?
What are we doing? What's going on? Yeah, a lot of crazy things. Do we kind of already say our moments and whatnot.
You haven't said it much.
I know. Did you? Okay.
I have.
We both
I love. There's a shot of Batman with the flashlight, and he's like walking through the tunnels. And I
Yeah,
like
that's
that.
cool.
That shot's cool.
The best shots
And
in the plot in this.
My favorite moment is probably the studio note gun bit. It's like,
It looks right in the camera. Yeah.
yeah, literally looks right in the camera, like, yeah. So,
The best
anyway,
shots in this episode had nothing to do with the plot. You know, it wasn't like
sure.
when we look back to like Nothing to Fear, and it's like we love that shot of a massive like
The blimp.
massive blimp
and like Thomas Wayne's like,
and Thomas Wayne like
Bruce
talking to
and-
Bruce, and it's
Yeah.
like it's related to what's going on in the episode. But I just everything here, it's like like I said, I like the shot of the Batmobile driving into the Batcave. That's good because it's just the same shot they've used a bunch of times already.
Yes, they've recycled that shit. Yeah, definitely. But I actually think the production notes on this one is actually pretty insightful because this was so early into production, and they knew that there was a lot of problems with it. So,
Okay, I just checked. There are 7 minutes of this episode, or nearly 10 actually, that are just either Sewer King and the kids or Alfred and this kid.
yeah,
That's crazy.
Batman takes a back seat in this one.
And none of the kids talk except for one of them who has
At
like
the end,
one line.
Like yeah.
He goes, light. Yeah.
At the end, when he looks at the sun.
Should we just move on to tier list and ratings?
Yeah.
There's nothing much to say. Don't watch this.
This is one you can skip.
You can skip
I think even maybe the creators of the show would say you can skip
I
this
feel
one
like
too.
we could have skipped this episode, but
We
we are
could've
doing
as
the
well.
complete.
But we
animated
have to
series
do
rewatch.
complete, dude. It's all about but here's our tier list. So let's get into this. So I will say I actually do kind of
quite
like the title
the-
card.
Yeah, I
Yes.
quite like the title card.
Yeah, I did too.
Regardless of but I do
it's
like the
at least
title
a B,
card.
personally for me.
I would put it at B as well.
Yeah, good. It's a good title card.
Good title card. I would put it right next to Pretty Poison personally.
Yeah,
there,
I'd put
right there
that.
actually.
That's fine there, yeah.
In terms of as an
Um,
episode, though, this
As
is
an
like
app,
3 or 4. I mean,
Yeah.
this is not good.
this is a low. Because I'm trying to think, what did we rate Last Laugh? We kind of stayed in what
I
the
gave it like a 6. Yeah,
5, 6 range.
This is a 3 out of 10.
This is probably at 3 or 4 at
Oh God.
3.
I don't think we're gonna see an episode that's worse than this.
I don't think we will. This might have been the worst Batman the Animated Series episode. We might have done it.
we would have done it. And thank you guys for watching it.
Thank you. Yeah, I need to think about that, but I think that might have been it.
Yeah, terrible.
Anything else to say? Closing remarks on this episode?
Literally, just don't watch it. Stay away.
Yeah, I'm
You can
excited
skip
for
it.
next week.
I will say consistent heat from here.
Batman fought a crocodile.
He did.
Yeah, he like kills a crocodile.
Yeah, but it
I actually thought that was sick when he threw it over.
Yeah,
He suplexed a
It was
crocodile.
suplex. That was
I mean,
awesome though.
That
That
shows
actually
a
was
little-
probably my favorite moment.
At one point though,
Um,
he holds his jaw open so
Open,
wide
and
that
it,
like
like,
it dies.
dies,
It,
yeah.
like it just like passes out or something.
There's one when he like roping him up. He like
Alright.
ropes it up, and it's all. Oh god, so dumb.
All
All right, yeah, you get it.
Love
3
this
out of 10.
show.
love
Thanks guys for watching. We're from
Gonna hit
here.
the
It's all good.
good.
Get into the good stuff. We might have. I think this. I will say again. This might have been the worst episode of the show. I really need to think about this, but I think this might have been it. But yeah. So next time we got POV. Very excited for that episode. And we'll see you guys very soon.
Give us your Underdweller thoughts. Bye.
Yeah, Underdweller thoughts if you've seen it.
Don't watch it.
Yeah.
Don't watch
Don't watch it.
Don't watch it.
Bye.